Good morning, everybody. Got some movement coming at you, some breath work, a little bit of mindset training as well throughout. Just want to start off by saying if any of the movements are painful today, do your best to modify or to stick with some of the regressions that we talk about, or modify as you need. Obviously, nothing is meant to cause pain. If that is what you're feeling, try to adjust, or maybe that movement isn't for you. Overall, though, trying to keep this pretty adaptable to whatever your skill level and whatever your goals are, your intention is this morning. Going to start out, going to be lying on our back, doing a breathing technique. Before we lie down, just want to show you, we're going to make this symbol with your hands. We're going to take our pinky and put it onto your hip bones here. The bones, obviously, at the front of your pelvis, finding the tops of that bone here, and then thumbs touching your rib cage. Knees are bent as you see, feet flat on the ground here. What we're going to try to do is inhale and create space or length in this area that we're holding on to. Okay, so as we breathe in, we want to try to lift our pelvis, or lift our rib cage and our head away from the pelvis. Exhale, try to keep that height that we just built. So you may notice as you do this that you have to adjust your head after the first breath, or after the first couple breaths. That's awesome. That means we got a little bit taller and we did decompress. So we're going through a simple decompression breath here, trying to create some space between our tailbone and the base of our head. Kind of trying to lengthen our spine a little bit through our breath. Again, as we exhale, then try to maintain that height that we just created. Have a couple more moments here practicing this technique. Again, trying to lengthen the spine, creating space between each of our vertebrae here. Maybe feeling that low back expand a little bit. Maybe feeling that mid back stretching a little bit. Just a couple nice easy breaths here as we finish up this technique. Expanding through the rib cage, expanding that belly, trying to lengthen the spine through our inhale, maintaining that through the exhale. We'll take one more breath in this position. Exhale, relax out of it there. You probably should still be in this decompressed position. I'm going to try to maintain that now and make this a little bit more challenging on ourselves. I'm going to tune into our low back posture now. I'm going to raise the feet up so the hips are just past 90 degrees towards our feet. As our knees come back this way, it makes it a little bit easier. Want to challenge ourselves a little bit. If it is more challenging than you'd like, obviously bring the knees back to make it a little bit easier on yourself. Otherwise, we're going to shift them just in front of our hips so that our hips are making just bigger than a 90-degree angle here. From here, going to try to keep that tall spine and working on breathing through our abdomen and through our lower rib cage. As we tune in here now, making sure that you don't have a lot of space between your low back and the ground. You want to have about half an inch to an inch of space under your low back here. Nice easy breathing, trying to feel that core working a little bit now. We raise the legs to make this more challenging for you. Obviously, you notice you push the feet towards the ground or the knees towards your feet. It puts a little bit more strain on the core and forces you to stay active here. The goal is to be able to breathe and keep these muscles active at the same time, keeping our core strong through the inhale and through the exhale. We want to make sure that our neck is pretty relaxed here. Don't want to have a whole lot of tension in our neck or in our shoulders as we're breathing here. Rather nice and controlled through our lower respiratory capacity. Maybe at the end of your breath, feeling the rest of your ribs expand as well here. So take a couple more breaths in this position. Take breaks as you need. If this is putting pressure on your low back or your core's getting fatigued, feel free to lower the legs to the ground and rest as you need. This will take one more big breath. Exhale, let the feet down. Kind of shake it out a little bit. Gonna let the knees go side to side, just nice and easy. Let that low back kind of relax and stretch out a little bit before we come into our next set here. Good work, you guys. Kind of tuning into our body this morning. Great to start with some breathing. Kind of getting our nervous system, but also our muscles woken up together here. Good to come back. Again, take breaks as you need. Knees just towards our feet from our hips. Again, breathing into your core can help to give yourself some feedback. If you're struggling there, maybe put your hands on your abdomen, feeling that area expanding with our inhale. Again, staying tall, slightly decompressed through our spine. Starting to feel this core waking up for the day. We'll be here for about 20 more seconds, guys. Awesome work. Again, our breath is something we can come to throughout the day. Big thing is that we aren't stressful in our breathing. You're kind of tense or holding on. Rather, keeping the breath flowing as often as we can, or if we do hold, it's in a controlled manner, or we're mindful of it at least. Keep breathing, maybe deepening the breath here a little bit as we start to get a little bit more tired in the core. We'll take one more deep breath. Exhale, feet come to the ground. Again, shake it out as you need here. Take a break if you'd like. If this is pretty challenging for you, let those core muscles relax. Otherwise, we're going to go on to some motion here, making this a little bit more challenging now. So from here, going to come to that same base position. This is called a dead bug home position. Going to bring the arms out to the ceiling. This is more like the home position. If that last exercise we were controlled in, want to build some difficulty here. If that was challenging, let's just stay with the feet raised or even feet down and just working on your breathing mechanics here. Again, trying to expand the belly. You can even push into the sides of your rib cage if you want to start to expand a little bit more, and that's you're not feeling it right away. If we're up, we're going to come into some motion. You're just going to work on your breathing. We're going to extend opposite arms and legs outwards from us. Okay, so one leg is going down, opposite leg to the ceiling. As we add this motion, really important that your low back doesn't start to arch or come away from the ground or press into the ground. Want to keep it pretty neutral or under control the whole time. So again, staying same side, opposite leg, arm extending outward. Notice my other limbs are staying steady here. If we're struggling with that, put your opposite arm on your knee. Just kind of keep it steady there. Again, keeping breathing here, keeping control through our motion here. Super important that we can keep breathing while we move, while we use this core in action here. Okay, about 10 more seconds on this side. Again, just controlling at your tempo. No pressure on the low back, really tuning in to the deep core muscles here. One more rep on this side. Good work, you guys, and we'll switch sides here now. Again, if you're struggling, if we're starting to move that other leg, prop your hand against your knee. Good breathing here, especially as that core starts to get a little bit tired. Keeping your breath rolling here. Again, low back just has a mild curve, not really changing posture as we're moving here. Keeping control, keeping your breath rolling. Start to intensify a little bit if you'd like. Again, come back to this base position as needed. Or feet down, taking breaks as you need. Let's go 2 more reps on that same side. Last rep here, coming back. We'll relax down. Again, shake it out if you need. It feels nice sometimes, just kind of let that low back relax, stretching it out here. Good work. Gonna make our way now onto a kneeling position. If this is bothersome, definitely you can stand here, feel free, or you can do tall kneeling as well. From here we're gonna open our shoulders or open our arms up. Gonna have one palm up, one palm down. From here, just gonna work on alternating this motion now, trying to rotate as much as we can through our shoulders. Starting to open up. If this is too hard on the shoulders, we can do it from a little bit lower position as well. Starting to rotate the shoulders. If you need to, you can do this one arm at a time. If this is either the motor control is challenging, or if it just is bothersome to one of your shoulders, take some time and just rotate one of your arms, seeing where we're at. Maybe you need to find a different position that's more tolerable for you. If you want to add a little bit of shoulder tension, we can raise our arms up just above 90. Otherwise, kind of working through this angle. As I go, I'm going to move my arms around a little bit. Feel free to follow along, or you can keep them steady. And alternating, or together here, or single arm. We got about 15 more seconds here. Starting to pull the arms back behind you a little bit. Kind of shoulder blades squeezing together here. Keeping that breath rolling. Kind of finish up the ones we're on here. You'll take a big breath in, just stretch the arms back. Let it out. You go through some shoulder rolls now, or shoulder circles, kind of like the cars if you've been following along. Just go a little less specific with this. Just trying to roll our shoulders through as big of a circle as we can here. Keeping it going. Rolling through. We'll switch directions now. Up, forward, down, back. As we're going, notice seeing if we can pull the shoulders back without shrugging right away. Trying to make it almost like a square, so the shoulders come back and then up. A lot of times what we do is as we pull the shoulder blades back, we naturally shrug right away. Trying to rather pull them back and then coming up through a circle here. Again, keeping your breath going. A couple more here. Really trying to get those shoulder blades and that upper back to kind of loosen up and mobilize with this. Awesome. Finish out there. Reps are on. We're going to go through a neck car now, or a head circle, neck circle. And think about tucking the chin to start. Crown is lifted up a little bit. Going to roll the chin down. Scrape the chin across your chest as you look over your shoulder as far as you can. Then we're going to dip the top of the head to the ground. Starting to arch back now, lifting chin up towards the sky, nose up towards the sky, looking over your other shoulder. Then scraping the chin across your chest. Come back up to the center, going to reverse directions. Let's think about it as like a crayon coming off of your nose. Chin tucked, going to draw a big circle with that crayon now. Again, chin scrapes across the chest, looking over your shoulder. Dip the top of the head to the ground, and then start to arch backwards. Again, chin and nose lifted up towards the ceiling. And looking over your other shoulder, kind of dipping the head, scraping the chin across your chest. Come back to the center. Awesome. I'm going to go one more here. Or one more each direction. Chin scrapes down, across your chest, dipping the top of the head to the ground. Starting to kind of arch backwards. Chin, nose to the sky. Looking over your other shoulder, kind of dipping and scraping your chin across the chest. Come back to the center. Last rep here. Down, looking over your shoulder. Once you can't rotate anymore, dipping the top of the head to the ground and starting to arch backwards. Making sure we're not pinching the back of your neck, but thinking about chin and nose lifted upwards towards the sky. Looking over your other shoulder, dip, scrape across your chest. Come back to the center. Awesome. We're going to go now to some wrist cars. So, wrist circles. I've talked a little bit about cars. It's a fancy acronym for a joint circle. We're going to start out keeping our forearm steady. So I grab here because we don't want to see rotation here. Rather, keeping this steady. Imagine the crayon now is coming off of your middle knuckle. How big of a circle can we draw? If you'd like, you can start to pretend as though your hand is stuck in quicksand. And as you're moving, you're having to kind of push through that quicksand. It's like you're giving yourself some resistance, an internal tension or internal resistance yourself. We're going to reverse directions now. Nice and controlled. Find your tempo, but I want to make sure you're not rushing. Again, if there was a sticker on your forearm here, it wouldn't be moving at all. Keep it really steady. I like to hold this with my other hand to make sure I'm not moving and even pin it down a little bit. We'll do one more circle the same direction. Big circle. Good. Kind of shake it out a little bit if you need. Going to come to the other side now. Again, if there's a crayon off of our middle knuckle, how big of a circle can we draw here? Rotating around. Making a big circle. We're going to do some work on our hands moving forward, so I want to make sure we at least touch this area a little bit. Upper body kind of getting loose. Big circle. Again, kind of adding that quicksand. Like your hand is stuck in a bucket of quicksand or a bucket of rice or something sticky. Here we go. Reverse directions. Again, keeping that forearm pretty steady here. Open, if you need to go open hand, you can try that as well. There we go. Again, no pain, but trying to find that outer range of motion. We'll do one more circle here. Again, keeping that breath rolling even as we're focusing on fine movements here. There we go. Shake it out a little bit. Going to come onto our hands and knees. Going to do some spinal segmentation. This is a lot like the cat and cow in yoga, but we're going to get more specific. We're going to try to move every one of our vertebrae between this position and this position. That was very quick. This should be about 15 to 20 seconds per rep, give or take. Going to start at the tailbone now and work our way one vertebrae at a time up our back. So let's start with a pretty flat back. Going to start by tipping the tailbone up to the sky as the belly starts to sink to the ground. Belly button is towards the ground a little bit more now. Starting to arch our way up our back. Imagine like one vertebrae at a time, starting to sink towards the ground. As we get towards the sternum and towards the mid-back and upper back, imagine now like you had a laser shining off of your chest, and you're going to try to shine that now up the ground and perhaps even up the wall in front of you. Making sure we're not rocking the hips back, but really trying to get this whole spine arching in this motion here. Not overdoing it in the low back, but getting that upper back involved. Chin tucks to finish, crown of the head lifts. From here, let the head relax. You're going to go the other direction now, starting at the tailbone. Tailbone starts to roll towards your nose as your belly button starts to suck up to the ceiling. So really lifting up, working our way up. Upper abdomen starts to suck up to the ceiling. Tailbone tucking towards the nose. Really working our way up our spine. Again, trying to bring the tailbone towards your nose, mid-back to the sky. Nose finishes, kind of arching towards our tailbone. Head relaxes, one more each direction now. Tailbone starts to tip back as the belly button starts to sink to the ground. Again, not rocking, just rolling through the spine here. Upper abdomen to the ground. Good. Trying to really focus on the mid-back now. Something so important when we get motion. Making sure we're not just moving our low back, but again, thinking if there's a light shining off of our chest, can we raise it up the ground in front of us or even up the wall? Trying to feel those upper back muscles starting to get active with this. There we go. Good work, you guys. Finish out this rep. Couple more seconds here. Get that upper back, those final little micro movements in here. Good work. From here, let the head relax to a neutral spot. Tailbone comes to tuck towards your nose. Belly button again. Kind of sucks up towards the sky. Belly button up. Upper abdomen up towards the sky. Keep your breath going here, guys. Upper back to the sky. Really working our way up the spine. Chin kind of tucks as the nose reaches towards our tailbone. Big breath in to finish this one. Exhale. Kind of let it go. Maybe shaking side to side, like kind of wagging the tail. Couple nice easy breaths here. Gonna rock the hips back if we can with our knees. Rock back as much as we can. Gonna reach our arms to either side. So we're going to start out, kind of crawl the fingertips to one side, stretching out your whole side, taking a couple breaths there, and then making your way to the other side. Do a couple on each side here. Again, just kind of walk in the hands. Noticing you get a whole stretch on the opposite side from where your hands are. So I'm reaching to my right, my whole left side is starting to open up here. We'll do one more each way. So kind of walking the hands over. We're taking a big breath in as we reach. Really lengthening through the side. Exhale, we'll come back to the center and walk our way over to the other side. Again, once we get there, let's take a big breath in. Try to really stretch that out. Stretching out this whole side here. As you're ready, you can come back to the center. We'll make our way up to the hands and knees. Definitely grab a drink if you'd like, if needed. I'm going to go on now. Some of these are going to get a little bit more intense. Least intense options. Again, stay with the level of activity that you're going for based on your goals and based on obviously how your body's feeling right now. On our hands and knees position, we got knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Gonna just come up now into a pretty neutral spine, okay? We just obviously worked on curving each way. Now I want to find that just mild curve in our low back and want to feel those belly muscles active, similar to how we started our session today. From here, we're going to just lift the knees an inch or two from the ground. So right away, this becomes challenging. If this is where we're at, I just want you to work on holding this position, maybe for a couple seconds, maybe for 30-second sets, wherever we're at. If we're ready to progress, we're going to go on to some movement now. Super important that our knees and hips don't lift like this throughout, or rocking a whole lot. I want to keep them pretty steady throughout the movement here. We're just going to try to lift, opposite arm, opposite foot off the ground. Just going to alternate sides here. Adjust your base if you need to. Just trying to control the low back and pelvis while we give a little bit of a lift here. Again, knees are slightly off the ground, not touching down throughout here. Trying to feel the core muscles active, supporting us while we breathe, control this posture. Let's come back to the center, let those knees down, shake it out if we need. You got that idea? You got a little bit of a check-in with where you're at this morning, or today, wherever we are. Good, we're going to come up, we're going to add a little bit more motion to this now. We're going to actually be crawling. So just how we were lifting opposite arm leg, now we're going to be crawling opposite arm leg from that position. Based on your space that you have, you can crawl forward, backwards. You can even add side to side. I'm just going to go some forward and backwards. Maybe a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. Big thing is we're under control in our core. We're keeping breathing, and we're keeping the movement fluid if we can. So let's come to this position. Again, press into the toes, knees lift. Opposite arm leg, starting to crawl, alternating sides here. Under control. Noticing those hips don't raise a whole lot as we're walking here. Again, come in each direction. You can slow it down a little bit if you want a little more difficulty. There we go. Coming back. Got about 20 more seconds in this posture here. Maybe take a little big step there. Check yourself now. How controlled can we be? Can we keep that core active and steady throughout here? Good work. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. If we're doing holds, maybe you add a lift. Or maybe we just work on holding today. Wherever we're at, awesome job getting yourself a little bit better today. Come back to the center. Make our way back to the ground. Good work, you guys. Gonna make our way onto our back now. Same position we started in. Got our knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Gonna get into some different bridge variations now. We talked a lot about the curve of the low back. Want to come back to that now. Making sure we're not flat, all the way flat to the ground, but also not overarching throughout. Gonna start by pressing our feet into the ground. Feet are about hip width here. I'm gonna really press the heels in, but want to make sure that the fronts of your feet, the balls of your feet are still active. To anchor the heels in, controlling posture here, lifting hips off the ground. Just gonna hold and breathe for a little bit here. Again, all these movements we do, we gotta be able to breathe. It's kind of useless unless we're trying to lift a car off a child or something to hold our breath. We don't need to bear down like that unless we're doing something at kind of peak intensity. All the stuff that we're doing, we want to be able to breathe. A pretty decent biomechanics. Again, working our rib cage, working our belly breath here. This puts pressure on your back. We got to tune into either the posture or maybe where we're pressing our feet to the ground. So really pressing the heels in is a good cue, but you got to find your glutes. It's up to you to know what muscles are working. There's never a black and white, do this and this happens. You got to tune in, see where your feet are. Some people maybe need to press into the feet, into the toes a little bit more to get their low back out of it, to get the glutes going. Wherever you're at, play with that. Play with how you press in the heels or press in the toes. That can really change the movement. What we want is this whole area working together here. Now the glutes, maybe quads a little bit, maybe hamstrings, and core. Ultimately, though, I want to get the glutes rocking. Let's control down to the ground. So that's progression 1, or level 1. Going to add a couple things here. That's awesome. If that's where we're at, let's work on coming up in the bridge, holding, feeling those glutes active, controlling down, or holding as long as we'd like here. I'm going to go on to a single leg bridge now, though. So we're going to come up. If you want to make it a little more challenging, again, anchor that foot, anchor that heel down. You're going to lift the other leg here. You can go leg up if that's challenging here, leg down, or even knee bends here. I'm coming here, though. You're going to really work on finding that glute. Once we feel like we've locked in there and got some pretty good control there, we're going to start pulsing with it. So we lower the hips down to the ground, control up to the ceiling here. Again, not overarching the low back, really tuning in, getting this glute active here on this side. Coming up, just locking in for a second or two, then coming down. Don't rush. Find the tempo where you can feel that glute squeeze and hold for a good second or two, and then control down. If you're struggling to get into the glute, let's hold on this position. You can hold and really put your mind's eye to that glute. But a couple more reps on this side. If we're doing single or a double leg, keep it up. Good work and really tuning into the feet and how that might change the movement here. Maybe putting the focus to your core a little bit maybe. Keeping the breath rolling. Last one here, if we're going single leg, going to put the other leg down, really anchor that heel, find that glute, Opposite leg to the sky. Take a break as you need. Otherwise, we're pushing ourselves today a little bit. Good time to build some healthy momentum. Get that body woken up a little bit. Get some strength. These glutes are some of the most powerful muscles in our body. Super important that we can tune into them. Again, if we're struggling to find it, maybe we're different side to side. Maybe one side, we're struggling to really get to that muscle. Hold a little bit if we need. Really put your mind's eye to that glute. Or adjust where your foot is engaging the ground or driving to the ground. Okay, well, 5 more here. Again, keep breathing. Keep this control up, everybody. Starting to see, hey, what do we want today? What are we going for? Are we trying to get a little uncomfortable? Or are we just trying to give ourselves a little bit of time and attention here? Wherever we're at, that's awesome. Awesome job just tuning in, doing something to get yourself maybe a little bit better today. Let's go last rep. Driving up, controlling down here. Good work there. Maybe shake it out a little if we need. Gonna come up, one more exercise here, and then we'll take a little break. This one's gonna be a little bit higher intensity. If this is bothersome or our joints are a little bit stiff or cranky, just do maybe a light hop. Maybe just a light even pedal here, foot to foot. Otherwise, we're gonna try to go high knees on command. So I'm gonna say start, stop. Your job is, when I say stop, to pause where we're at and hold. Balance, under control. A big part of healthy movement is not just being able to be powerful and fast or explosive or having stability, but being able to stop movement. That's a big part of nervous system and movement health here. Okay? So we'll start, going to go high knees. So let's just kind of get them moving. Again, maybe we're here. Maybe we're, finding that position that works. Stop. Let's go. Stop. We'll go. Maybe getting the arms into it, almost like we're running here. Stop. Keep going. About 30 more seconds. Stop. Oop, caught myself. There we go. Keep going. Stop. If you got downstairs neighbors, you can apologize. Keep going. Stop. Go. Stop. Let's go. Stop. A couple more seconds here. Let's go. Stop. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Alrighty, gonna go through those last 3 exercises one more time here. Good work. Grab a drink if needed. Good time to take a little breather. Check in. If you're like, no, I want to keep going, you're doing more of a HIIT workout, definitely you can throw this in with that. You can do a plank here or keep going with some of the high knees here. Got about 15 more seconds here of a rest. Then we're going to come back to that crawling, the hands and knees work we were just doing. Let that breath come back to normal. Hopefully got up a little bit, maybe getting a little bit warmer now, maybe getting a little sweat going. Love it. Good way to start the weekend. Again, getting that positive, healthy momentum rolling. Alrighty. Second set, we got 3 exercises, then we're done with the movement part today. Okay? So again, coming on our hands and knees, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes tucked under. Gonna lightly press into the feet now. From here, if we need, we can be here. Alternating arm foot lifts. Again, really tensing our core area. Again, as we bring more attention and more control to this area, our whole body is going to be more stable and balanced here. If we're okay with it, let's come to our crawling here. There we go. Come down. There we go. Keep that breath rolling. Keep that core active, under control here. And soft hands and feet as we lift and as we set them down. Got about 25 seconds. Keep going, guys. Keep that belly active. Keep those knees close to the ground. Under control. A little bit longer. Keep breathing. Keep control, guys. Again, if we're holding, awesome. Take breaks as you need. Breathe. Find that core. Got one more coming here. One more set back and forth. So we'll find our
center position. Let's find that position and then control down to the ground. Good work. Going to come to our bridges here. Again, on our back. Finding our feet position. If last time you were struggling, you can adjust feet forward or feet closer to your hips. Sometimes that helps us get into our glutes a little bit more as well. Again, tuning into where we press the feet into the ground. Super critical here on this one. Anchor our feet. Pelvis is under control. Lifting here. Checking in. Again, not overarching the back. Either way. Nice and controlled. Keeping the core active here. Keeping our breath rolling. Going to start to get into our single leg bridges if that's the option we want. Leg up. Finding that glute. Let's roll with it. Driving this leg up to the ceiling, hips up to the sky through each bridge here. Hips up. Again, we can go leg down if we need. Control. Really putting that focus to that glute of that down leg. Again, maybe changing the foot posture. Pressing the heel, pressing the toes. As we drive up. Really getting that lower body active here. Again, if you're struggling to find the glutes, either on both legs or on either leg, you can hold, adjust your foot, do a couple of the things I've mentioned, really try to find that glute. Got a couple more here. Good work, you guys. Going last rep here. Coming up, we'll switch sides. So anchor that other side, really feel it lock into the ground. Opposite leg up before single leg. Driving hips up to the sky here. Hips up. There we go. Good work, you guys. Again, really tuning in, trying to find that glute muscle on that leg that's pressing into the ground. Wherever we're at, awesome job. Super important that we keep our breath rolling. Keep our core under control, whatever we're doing here. Got a couple more here now. Keep breathing. Let's go 2 more. Lock it up. Down. Really anchor that foot to the ground. Control out of it. Awesome. Last exercise here today. Here we go. Got our high knee start stops. Okay. Again, if we're here pedaling, that's okay. Maybe you finish and this is your balance. When I say stop, maybe you lift the toes and try to hold. See if we can balance on one leg. Maybe we're ready to really get those high knees rolling. If that's the case, let's get going here. Start. Run, run, run. Stop. Keep breathing. Let's go. Knees up, soft feet. Soft, quick feet. Stop. So we stop, soft knee. See if we can find a good soft balance. Let's go. Stop. Let's go. Stop. Let's go. Stop. There we go. Getting the arms into it a little bit now. Last workout today. Stop. Let's go. We've got about 10 seconds. Stop. 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 Last one. Stop. Nice. Relax out of it. There we go. Good work, you guys. Nice job. Grab a drink if you'd like. Gonna make our way down to a seated position. We'll grab a little cushion. Makes it a little bit more comfy. Have a cushion or something to prop yourself up. If you'd like to lie on your back, that's an option as well. So we're gonna talk a little bit about mindfulness and how we can get our mind kind of set for some positivity, some clarity, be a little more balanced the rest of the day. So nice and easy. If we can sit here in a school style position, legs crossed, that's awesome. If you gotta lay on your back or be on your knees, whatever it may be, just find a position that works for you. From here, we're just gonna tune in to our breath. Maybe a little bit faster right now as we just got done moving our bodies a little bit more. Maybe a little more intensely than we do just on a regular day-to-day life. Awesome job showing up today. Again, recognizing your breath, watching it start to slow a little bit as our heart rate slows. Start to settle into a little bit of stillness here following this movement. Just taking note of how you're feeling right now. How the body feels, maybe how you are in contact with the ground. Checking in with how our mind is feeling. Recognizing that whatever we're feeling, whatever is going on in our mind or in our body, as long as we're breathing right now, there's a beating heart in our chest, there's a lot more right with us than wrong with us. Settling into that realization a little bit here. And as often as you need, coming back to your breath. It's totally natural to wander, to think. As often as you need, as often as you notice this happening, just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Taking an inhale through the nose, exhaling through the nose or mouth. Appreciating the work you put in, appreciating the time you spent on yourself this morning. Perhaps taking a mental note that there will be things today out of our control, maybe different stressful events. Regardless of what happens outside of us, we can come back to the state of clarity, the state of being in control of our perspective. Again, bringing that attention back to the breath, back to these words as often as we need. See if on these next couple breaths we can get a little bit taller through the inhale. Getting a little bit of that decompression on the spine that we worked on with our first exercise today. It's a powerful breathing move that we can use to really help our spine out. As we settle into that full, lengthened exhale, helping our nervous system and our mind out as well. Again, really lengthening that exhale. You can count your breaths if you need. Otherwise, just lengthening through the exhalation. Taking a couple more moments, full awareness, full presence in our breath, in our body. Perhaps a moment of appreciation for the ability to move and to choose to tune into these healthy options we have available to us. If you made it this far, the rest of the day will be a little bit easier. A little bit easier with the work we just put in now. Allowing for a little bit extra peace today, maybe a little bit more happiness. We can also spread to those around us. Feel free to stay here and continue this meditation if you'd like. Again, just watching your breath or finding a point of focus for yourself. The video is going to end here, but again, continue as you wish. Maybe you go work out, you're feeling like you want to build on this, or maybe you're ready to take on the rest of your day. Regardless of where you're at, awesome job just trying this and taking time for yourself. and for not only yourself, but also so that you're a more peaceful presence for those around you. Have a good weekend, you guys. And also, yeah, you can like or subscribe on YouTube. That obviously helps me out a little bit, as well as just a way to show support. Or inviting your friends and family. Love it. Want to get this spread a little bit. Want to keep having the population grow and get this accessible to as many people that it could potentially benefit. Alrighty, that's all. Take care, you guys.